Hello, this is Jessica here with Martin Management. I'm here with Melissa Horsley today, and she is the founder of CFO for Dentists. So she's going to share with us some great financial insights that are specific to the dental industry. So thank you for joining me, Melissa.
Thank you for having me. I sure appreciate it.
Yes, and I'm in Wisconsin, as a lot of you know. Melissa is in Idaho.
I am.
Yeah,
Yep.
what is the weather like there right now?
Well, right now it's actually finally starting to become summer. We're hitting the 70s, so can't complain.
Wonderful. That's what's happening in Wisconsin too. Actually, today is like in the 80s, and I think we're going to be in the 90s this weekend, which
Wow,
it sounds like hot, but we've had a lot of rain and not very nice weather. So I'm looking forward to
that's
it.
what's been here. Yeah, just in time for 4th of July. Just
Yes.
nice weather. So, yeah.
Yes. So Melissa, tell us a little bit about you, how you got into the dental niche, I guess.
Yeah, so for several years I've been in the bookkeeping world, and we we didn't have a focus on any particular industry. And as our business was growing, I found that I was getting more and more dental clients, and I was beginning to see that they were an underserved industry when it came to accounting and putting good accounting and financial processes in place. And so that was kind of the start of moving my business to focus solely on the dental industry and on that niche, so that we can provide the greatest value to our dental clients. So.
Wonderful. And dentists are a fun crowd to work with. I'm married to one, so I have to say that.
You have to say that. I think they're wonderful to work with. I really enjoy working with them. So.
Yes, awesome. And so you were going to tell us some strategies that you think would be beneficial for anyone in the dental, a dentist or a dental office owner, some strategies that would help with their financials, which I think we all want to know how to do better financially, right?
Sure. Well, I guess first of all, what I've found with a lot of dentists is they're experts in their field and don't really want to focus on the business. They want to focus on what they're experts in, just like any of us in the fields that we know about or understand. And so I think the first thing is that dentists need to have an accountability partner, or someone that they're accountable to when it comes to the financial status of their business. And I feel like that's where we come in and can provide that value and provide the accountability. Just some of the things we focus on when we're working with our dental clients that I've found across the board seems to be problems in the dental industry are overhead expenses. We help identify where those expenses are just too high, and which a lot of times they are way too high when they're not being managed and watched frequently. And so that's one of the major things we start out looking at. And from there, we also help. We take a look at production, and if fees need to be restructured, we take a look at that. So that's another major thing that sometimes leads to the downfall of a practice. And another one that I've found across the industry is incentivizing staff and making sure you can keep your good staff members, your good hygienists, and providing incentives to them so that they do stick around, because that's more and more the trend in the industry is providing incentives to staff for their production. So those are just three points that I've found to be the top issues with dentists, and so that's usually where we start. So.
Yeah, I love that. And owning a practice with my husband, I know that all those three speak to us as well. When you talk about, the staff component, I mean, you see a lot of practices or situations where a hygienist might leave and she might have a following, and so you're going to see patients unfortunately travel with her because they spend so much time with the hygienist and really get
Exactly.
to establish that bond. So when you talk about working with incentives for staff, what does that look like typically?
It varies based on where the dentist is located there, because revenues vary throughout the country, and we work with dentists across the country. So that's really something we have to evaluate on a case-by-case basis and determine what's best and what processes to put in place there. So.
Okay. And is it typically just with the producing staff that you talk about incentives? So like hygienists that are obviously producing a certain amount, or are you talking about assistants and office managers and things like that as well in those formulas?
Typically, the focus is on hygienists because that's, where a lot of your production obviously is coming from. And as you mentioned, that's the face of the practice in a lot of ways. But yes, we also look at bonuses and such for other staff members. But our primary focus going in is the hygienists. So.
Okay. Awesome. I like that. You mentioned overhead and, just the cost of supplies and equipment and things like that. How have you found that you're able to save your clients money on those overhead pieces?
Well, that goes back to the accountability for one thing. If we're actually going in and looking at the numbers on a consistent basis and determining where we're overspending based on the industry, we compare against the industry, we look at trends in the industry, we and the nice thing about working with several dentists, we know what we're looking for. We can look and we can see pretty quickly where it looks like maybe you're overspending in a certain category based on a percentage of revenue or overall costs. So.
Okay, and because you work with a lot of other dentists, you learn where do they get their supplies from and how do they keep their margins lower and things like that. So you're able to kind of share that information.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I know you've had like 20 years of accounting experience and you're loving working with dentists. It's great
Yes.
that we have somebody that, that's wanting to focus on that niche and be able to serve, the dental community better. Anything else you want to add before we sign off today about what you do and, what you're looking for in clients?
No, I think really when it comes to clients, we just want clients that are willing to improve and on their processes and are open to new ideas and willing to work together with us to improve on those things, because we provide a service that, the value is there, and we want clients that obviously can see that value and want to work with us as much as we want to work with them. So because it's a team, it requires both sides to do it. So.
Yes, it's not fun to drag anyone across the finish line.
Exactly.
It's nice when they're in it. Okay, awesome. And Melissa, if anyone would want to reach you, how would it be best for them to reach you?
Well, I have a website. It's cfofordentist.com, or they can reach me at my phone number, which is 801-455-3652.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Melissa. I hope the weather remains beautiful in Idaho and
you as well. Thank you.
Summer.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.